For doing what? For doing whatever they want. But Srila Prabhupada, through his life, he has shown how the time has to be utilized. What should we do? What should be our meditation? How the services has to be done? With what attitude they have to be done? He gives everything. For example, if a person showing us where to go, just that path itself is all auspicious. Because the person who's shown us that path, he knows why he's showing that path. He knows what is that path will give us. We might not know what that path will give us. We might try to see that, oh, he's showing us a way to remove some obstacles which I have right now. But technically, it is not just removing obstacles, dear devotees. Spiritual master do not remove the obstacles, but they give us the strength to come out of those obstacles. That's what, through his life, his example, his entire life is that. So many obstacles all through his life. But every obstacle was a stepping stone. Just like Pandavas suffered so much. Actually, externally we see that it as a suffering, but for them, it is not a suffering, which we see through their own words also. Here the word Srila Prabhupada is writing in Jaladuta. What are those words? Those words are his experiences. Through those situations, he's actually seeing the absolute truth. Through those experience, through those situations, he's seeing the presence of his spiritual master, what he has given him. He's seeing the presence of Supreme Personality of Godhead. That means through a situation, he is showing through his life that how we should take that situation. Family not supportive, no help, no money. Nobody is ready to accept the truth. He's writing so many letters for politicians, this personality, that personalities, big people, prime ministers. He's sending messages to some rich people so that they would sponsor. But no one was responding actually. All of those things, they later on became cherishable experiences in his life. This is how the Lord, through different situations and circumstances, he will give the sadhaka, the weight. He will give the assurance that don't worry, there's a problem, don't worry, I'm there for you. Now, who in this world will get that kind of a thing? Nobody will get that kind of thing. Now, you show me any person in this world having difficulties and then they are very happy. No, it's not possible. No, that is the whole reason. No matter how much we have, still our mind will show what we not have, what we do not have. Why is that? Because the mind is always hankering for something which we do not have. But in the life of pure devotees, especially in the life of Srila Prabhupada, it's a very clear thing that if something is not there, then he aspires for that. He really want to perceive that. But through that aspiration, what is he doing is completely depending on it. Aspiration without dependence is impersonalism. Aspiration with dependence is personalism. Because through that dependence, what is he trying to show us is just like a child is completely dependent on his mother and the father. because he has nothing else other than that. His life is under their shelter and protection. He accepts it or doesn't accept it. That is how it is. If he accepts it, he gets he establishes a relationship. But if he doesn't accept it, he doesn't get the relationship. For example, if I focus on the energy, leaving the person behind the energy, I will not be able to understand the complete essence. Just like a river flows into the ocean, the river has an existence before. The river, after flowing into the ocean, it also has an existence after that. The existence of water is not removed. The property might change, quality might change, but the existence is not removed. Likewise, dear devotees, if we accept it or not, yesterday question, what is this? It's an interesting question. The question is, if we are suffering in this world, then why are we again taking another birth? If we are suffering, that means for our action, this is suffering, it's closed out. Oh, why the bodies has to be changed? So the suffering which we are accepting right now, today, at this present moment, we don't know what kind of reaction we are getting now. No doubt we are suffering. No doubt everyone in this world they suffer. But why they would get another body? Because of their desire. Because of their strong desires. If we actually see every living entity, not even human beings, dear Lord, you can see any living entity in this world. Every living entity in this world, they carry something or the other in their heart. There is no living entity in this creation that doesn't carry anything in their heart. The basic principle of maintaining this body is there in every jiva. Because if that is not inculcated in the jiva, there is no existence, there is no survival for that jiva. That means even though the jiva has that body, the jiva doesn't exist if it doesn't have those desires. It carries certain things, any living entity. So through those carrying, it associates it with this Prakriti. How is it associating with Prakriti? With Trigunas. Sattva, Rajo, Tama. So through one's desire, it is actually associating in that way only. There's no other way. Why? Why the jiva is going through so much suffering and again going through different bodies? This itself is a proof and indication that we have so many desires, varieties, varieties. And the personalities, Srila Prabhupada and his followers, when they come into our life, then what happens, dear devotees? They show us the real picture. Just like Narada Muni has shown the picture to Indra when he was in a different body. when he was in the body of a pig. Yesterday we discussed about it. So through that perception, what happened? His vision got transformed, got changed. Because he is no longer seeing himself through that body. Up until that point of time, he was seeing himself through that body only. We should never hanker to see ourselves through this body. We are not a male, we are not a female. Sometimes we are an animal, sometimes we are a human. We are none of those things. Jiva cannot be perceived himself through this material perception because this entire material perception is illusion. This entire creation is temporary. It's real, but the state of consciousness to that reality is illusion. What is the state of consciousness? Whatever we carry in our heart, that is illusion. That means whatever we think, is it illusion? Yes, it is illusion. Through that illusion only, we take another temporary body. Taking another temporary body is another illusion. We carry different bodies, different states. You know why it is illusion? One state is not carried eternally. For example, if we have a state, if we have one state, let's say eating. Eating is one state of consciousness. Do we carry it eternally? No, we don't carry. After eating, we do sleeping. What is happening? It is changing. No, those four basic eating, sleeping is required to maintain this body. For the soul and the body to be maintained, this thing is required. But there are millions of living entities. They're actually living only for this. Actually, everyone lives for this. A better standard of eating, better standard of sleeping. Why? Because that is there in the consciousness. Now, how is that illusion? When that eating and sleeping is not being rightly used, as per the words of the acharyas, then it becomes illusion. If that eating and sleeping, or whatever it might be ahar, nidra, bhayam, viduram cha. If all of these things, if they are utilized as per the words of the acharyas, Srila Prabhupada says very, very clearly on this. If the consciousness is not pure, the mind is not pure. If the mind is not pure, one's actions of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending will not be pure. If those things will not be pure, the jiva is completely absorbed here only in this material plane. He cannot raise himself to the spiritual plane. So when Srila Prabhupada when he says something, it's an absolute truth. We don't have to do some interrogation. We can experience what through his words after acceptance. But when we immediately reject his words, then we do not get the mercy. For example, this is how it is 2 plus 2 is 4. If a person accepts it, he gets the wisdom of addition. That when you add 2 to 2, you get 4. When you add 1 to 1, you get 2. Now he learns how to add 1 to 1 to get 2. That is pranipatena. He is learning how to add 1 to 1 to 2. Through pariprasnana, through pranipatena, he comes. He gets that. And then after understanding 1 plus 1 is 2, what he does is he gets that experience of addition. Then he does what? Then he does more additions. Through that, what he gets more experiences. Then the moment he remembers the person who has given that to him, then he feels indebted. Through that indebting, he wants to serve him. That's how service comes actually. Now we hear that we should do devotional service, but we should also experience why we should do service. Now, a lot of actually most of the personalities who come to the movement, they come out of distress only. They want to come out of some problems. The four kinds of people, they have different issues, concerns. They want to clear up those things. Due to that reason, they come out. But that's all okay. Coming up to the process is good, but that itself will not sustain in the process, because the jiva has to also get experience. Because their devotees, everyone is part and parcel of the Lord. Part and parcel of the Lord means the Lord, one thing, the fire spark would have its existence when it is connected with the fire. The moment the fire spark is connected with the fire, what happens is that's where the glory of the fire spark will be manifested. Because through that connection only, fire spark has an existence. But the moment when the fire spark goes away from the fire, it loses its identity. Losing its identity means it's losing its natural state. Where it is kept in a natural state. Likewise, when the jiva is always connected with Ishvara, even though the Prakriti is provocating him, definitely the material nature will provoke it. That is a test actually. Srila Prabhupada's life, there are so many thought-provoking situations. We see through Lilamrita. If everything is lost, Srila Prabhupada would have left. That is a thought-provoking situation. Because he never faced that kind of situation in his life. Because since his childhood, he was well raised. He didn't see that kind of difficulties. Through that through that difficult circumstances in his life, what he did, he's taking shelter of the absolute truth. He's taking shelter of his spiritual master. So what is this indication? This is a clear indication that there are that so many tests. You see Prahlad Maharaj's life. He learned the science through his mother's womb only. After that, he's getting tests. Through that test, at every moment, he's remembering the Lord, is remembering his spiritual master. Now, how do we know that he's remembering his spiritual master? When the Lord comes, he tells the Lord that my spiritual master gave me everything. How can I come without serving him? Is that not an indication that he is remembering his spiritual master continuously? It is an indication. Was he not seeing the tests and troubles and issues in his life? He was seeing those tests, troubles, and issues in his life. It is a test for him. His father kicking on his chest. His father has to take care of him. But his father is kicking on his chest. Complete abusement. But what is he doing? He's not forgetting the Lord. He's not forgetting his spiritual master. Now the Lord can come at that moment itself, the moment he kicked on his chest. But no, he didn't come. Now why Lord didn't come? Because Lord wants to show the glory of his devotee. All those troubles Lord is taking, Prahlad Maharaj is not taking. Nrsimhadev is accepting all of those things. Just like when Haridas Thakur Maharaj, or when the pure devotees go through the difficulties, it is actually the Lord who is actually going through with them. Always remember, when we really want to practice Krishna consciousness, definitely you'll get tests, which we see through the life of Acharyas. Most of the filtering happens here. Coming itself is a big filter. Nobody will come to Krishna consciousness. Very rare. After coming, when difficulties come, a lot of people will leave. But whoever is sticking to that through those difficulties, kuch to hai. It means they're experiencing something. Otherwise, why would they stay? Please try to understand. Very, it was a very intimate science. It's a very personal. Krishna consciousness is so personal. You will actually establish relationship with the spiritual master and the Lord simultaneously through following, by becoming sincere. Never be envious towards anyone, dear devotees. Krishna doesn't like that. If something is happening, if one devotee is putting us in trouble, accept it. No problem. Don't you think that Krishna doesn't know that situation? He knows. He's only trying to teach us a lesson. Small lesson. It's a very small lesson. Big lessons will come. The more we begin taking smaller lessons, bigger lessons will come. Never ever try to become centered. Should never become center. Our spiritual master is the center. Krishna is the center. He is the source of everything. We cannot be the master. He is the master. Been kept in a particular, if we have been kept in a particular situation, just accept it as a service. Then just do it, just move forward. Never ever go through that. This is what I'm meant for. Should never ever feel like that. Srila Prabhupada, even after coming to US, he was writing continuously letters to his God brothers. Please come, please come. There is a lot of opportunity and scope here to preach Krishna consciousness. When he was in New York City, he was writing letters. Please come, please come. You take care of everything and just do some service. See, that itself is a show, or that itself is an indication that Prabhupada doesn't like any name, fame, or anything like that. Because for pure devotees, those things are too far. Whatever, wherever we've been kept, whichever situation we've been thrown in, simply embrace it. This can only be established when you're free from the materialistic desires. The sadhaka should always check his heart. What kind of material desires I'm carrying? If yes, immediately we should remove those material desires. Because through that material desires, one cannot cultivate spirituality. If one is cultivating spirituality through that material desires, means what are we trying to do? We are trying to bring the Lord into our plane. What we should do is we should go to his plane. We should go to the plane of the spiritual master. We should not bring them to our plane. We should aspire for that state. Because why one should aspire pure devotion only? We seen through the example of Indra a couple of days back. Even though he has so much, now why is he running behind property? Why is he running behind respect? Because Save Pumsa Parodharma Yatho Bhakti Radoksha Ahi Tuki Aprita Yanatma Suprashidati. It is not manifested. This is the heart of pure devotees actually. No matter what they do everything for the pleasure of the Lord. Ahi Tuki. This pure state of consciousness, just see he has everything, but still is not satisfied. Now, whoever is doing yajna, it's like when Prithu Maharaj was doing yajna, he did 99 sacrifices or sacrifices. The 100th Indra stole that because he was thinking that Prithu Maharaj might take my position. See, if anything which is not done on a pure plane, it always gives some agitation. Even though Indra is there in a position, but he's like perplexed. Who will come and take my position? Because it is not done on a pure plane. Please try to understand. Anything which is not done on a pure plane, it will not give satisfaction to the heart. For sure. Anything. So when Prithu Maharaj was again doing another sacrifice, another time it was stolen. Another time it was stolen, then he stopped doing it. Now here an interesting aspect which we need to see. Now the Lord will give difficulties only. Why the Lord is giving difficulties to his pure devotees? It's an interesting question. Why the Lord is giving difficulties to only to pure souls? Because through those pure souls, Lord wants to teach again and again that see how my devotee is taking the situation. Now Prithu Maharaj was not envious. Now Indra comes. He knows that Indra has done that. He was not envious towards Indra. Because all those sacrifices, he did it for the pleasure of the Lord. Please try to understand. This is on the pure plane. He is doing an action on a pure plane without having any expectation. He's not expecting that I will get an Indra post or I will go there, I'll enjoy here, I'll enjoy there. He's not expecting any of those things. But rather, what is he doing? His only aspiration is to please the Lord. This is what Srila Prabhupada has shown us. This is what pure devotees are showing us. Our spiritual masters, they are showing us. They have no expectations with this world. They are in this world, but they are not of this world. They carry nothing from here. They have realized that. That's why they don't hanker. Whatever Lord is giving, they'll just be satisfied with that. Who is a Brahmana? Brahmana is a beggar if he has $1,000,000. If he has $10 also is a beggar. If he has $1,000,000 also is a beggar. Why? Because both are same to him. Because whatever he has, he uses in the service of the Lord. Nothing for him. No personal agenda or personal aggrandizement. Just like we saw the example of Sridhar Swami yesterday, the moment he saw that this material nature gives so much strength, just by seeing that lizard, he got this understanding that his child will be protected by the Lord. If the child is there, that means it's the will of the Lord. He'll take care of him. Just see the conviction. This is a state of consciousness. I always think about this. To get this state of consciousness, how much efforts we have to go through, how many things we have to go through, how much uh, relationship we should aspire for. Oh, it's a great blessing actually to aspire for pure devotion. No matter where we've been kept, if you are continuously absorbed in this attitude only, then the picture is totally different. Our way of seeing this world is different. Everything will become different. Our goals will change, our aspirations will change, our vision of this world will change. Right now, we are thinking of so many things on this material plane. That will change. Because what are we seeing? We're trying to see the spiritual perceptions. Srila Prabhupada explains about this, how important the Guru Parampara is. He says, the Bhagavatam is descending from our Acharyagan. He says, Brahmaji, Krishna has spoken to Brahmaji, Brahmaji has spoken to Narad Muni, Narad Muni has spoken to Vyasdev. It's been descending slowly, slowly, slowly. And it's a ripened fruit. And that ripened fruit, one acharya is giving to the other. It's been descending slowly, slowly, slowly. And then Prabhupada says that finally we have received this instruction by the mercy of Nittalila Parishtam Jam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Vishtota Dashata Srimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Goswami Maharaj Thakur Srila Prabhupada. This is what he writes. And then he says that we are grateful to receive that from him. This is the mood they carry. No personal thing. Because they're very honest. There is nothing. There's nothing personal. What can we carry, dear Lord? We cannot carry anything. What can we have? We cannot have anything. Independent intelligence, what can we carry? We cannot carry. That we carried life after life. Is it not independent intelligence? Ahara, Nidra, Bhayama, Yadunamcha, which we have gone through millions of lifetimes. We've been through insect, we've been through frog, we've been through snake, we've been through dog, we've been through cat, we've been through animals, aquatics, so many living entities. Finally, we came to the human form of life. Still, we are carrying the same thing. We carried so much. The time to purify that. Purification. Tapo divyam putrakayana sattva. This austerity has to be done. So today is the day. Please think about Srila Prabhupada, what he has given. His wonderful association. His wonderful movement, ISKCON. I'm so fortunate to get connected to this. And so many pure followers following the words of Srila Prabhupada as it is in their life. Exalted personalities, they just come into this world to give us nourishment, to give us relishment, to give us experiences. Just like Krishna has given the experience to Arjuna, he gave that special vision so that he could see the universal form. The acharyas, they give us the special perception. And even leaving of the body, he showed us how to live. Hare Krishna, death is natural. One day it will come. It's natural. If all through our life we cultivated this with heart and heart, we did it with heart and heart, then naturally at the time of death you'll remember the Lord. Like it's no big of a deal. What is the real deal? Real deal is to have developed love, devotion. By the mercy we'll be able to remember him. But that real dealing has to be perceived. Hare Krishna. We're eternally grateful for him actually. Cannot repay. To him, to his followers, cannot repay. Whatever we do, we cannot repay. I always feel like this. Cannot repay. Because they gave everything. They showed us how to be happy. They showed us how to handle difficult situations. They showed us how to develop relationships in this world. They showed us how to deal with people of this world. They told us to become experts in the science of Krishna consciousness. They're training us continuously through their life. Hare Krishna. I think I have a couple minutes. Sorry, I didn't realize I had a hard stop at 7:30. Would anyone like to add?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, nice to hear you after many days. Please tell.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So yes, Prabhuji very nicely explained about the intensity and purity of the Acharyas and Srila Prabhupada, what he showed, and Prabhuji just to add that Prabhupada's, I was reading the Lilamrita, Srila Prabhupada's
Very nice.
Lilamrita,
Very
and
nice.
his father, Gaur Mohan De, he had so much big influence in his life from his childhood.
Correct.
His father
Correct.
gave him so much strength, and that's Prabhupada took in his foot throughout his life, and
Yes.
and so much difficulties. Srila Prabhupada and Sri Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, all the acharyas took in their life. They like they were supposed to kill by other people. Like at the night, 1 a.m., Prabhupada has to leave one um, person's apartment because with the gun. So Prabhupada was like, he is empowered by Lord Krishna because he came here to give us the Krishna Prema and created this big the society, international society. So intense and pure love they have for the Krishna and and faith. So Prabhuji is very amazing. I'll just like to and thank you Prabhuji for giving us every day how to stick on this Krishna conscious path and reduce the material attachment as much as possible and try to do bhakti very seriously. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. I think I'll stop here. Thank you all very much. If it caused an inconvenience through my words, please excuse me. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai. Srila Prabhupada Disappearance Day Mahotsav ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you.